bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100 and pretty good form, Bernie.
Hello, and welcome back, everyone, to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which this year will still be proudly supported by Retrovision, Everlast Sports Drinks, and ESA Sport. Welcome back to 2022, to the second half of the 21-22 Peel Cricket Association season. It's been an action-packed first half of the season where we've had topsy-turvy performances. We've had some fantastic individual performances throughout, from A all the way through to F, which we've spoken about ad nauseum really throughout the 11 episodes. This is episode 12 of the Pavilion, and very, very excited to bring this to you. My name is Orazio Santalucia, and I am the host of this, the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, as well as the commentator for the Retrovision Premier T20 League, which comes to you every Tuesday and starts again this coming Tuesday, the 11th of January. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on. We've also got a fantastic guest on the show this week. We've got Noongar man Clint Dan. Now, Clint Dan is the founder of the Middle Stump Initiative. Now, for some of you may have seen them before, and you'll start seeing them around the grounds as we speak from this round on, I dare say. Middle stump, basically, every middle stump will have some fantastic Indigenous artwork on it. We'll talk a little bit about who the artist that's been employed to do the artwork for the Peel Cricket Association middle stumps. There's a few clubs, I understand, are getting their own done for their own particular region, which is fantastic. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on. Well, Clint will actually talk a bit about that later on in the fantastic interview we have with Clint Dan. He's got a very, very good connection with some of our fantastic Indigenous players that play within the Peel Cricket Association, including the Ugle boys, Kieran Ugle in particular, very, very close to him. Anyway, Clint will talk more about that rather than me spoil it for you all. We'll also do a little sort of, I guess, preview into the upcoming round, first round back, and it's a real great opportunity for everyone to get back into it. And I mentioned that, I guess, in the last show, was that you can look at it two ways. You've had the first half of the season, and you've sort of there, and whatever the results are, they are. You've got a fantastic opportunity now to really kick on and continue some really good momentum, or the other way around is you might not have done what you wanted to up to now. Well, you've got a new start. Okay, we've got a second half of the season, and there's plenty of teams that have gone on a roll from the second half on and continued all the way through. I know I've been part of a side that did that a fair while ago now, but basically, long story short, my last season as an active player, I was captain coach of a team in Victoria. We were there or thereabouts, hanging on just maybe outside the 4 up to Christmas, and then we made a real good run of it from there on. We snuck into the 4, and then we went on to win the premiership, and that was my last game. Anyway, a little bit of Ashes to talk about. Why wouldn't you? It is the big ticket item at the moment in cricket. Because the Big Bash has lost everything, and it's not their fault necessarily, but with player unavailability, COVID running rampant over East, I'm surprised that some of our players have. Well, we have actually. We've got a little connection with the Big Bash, with Chris Subber getting called up to the Scorchers squad. I did mention it when he did play as a guest player for Mandurah in the Retrovision Premier T20 League. I did mention it. I said, this guy should be signed up. I cannot understand why or how. At least the right people have made the right call, and a very, very good cricketer that deserves the opportunity to play in a tournament like the Big Bash has got the call up It's obviously not the greatest of circumstances at the moment, but sport, professional sport in particular, is quite brutal, and you take your chances as you get them. So good luck to Chris. And for those of you that played in that game, both for Mandurah and on the receiving end, you can say, hey, we played against a Big Bash player. So we've got Luke Promisbatch running around playing B grade for Hillman. So for those of you that played against Luke, you're playing against a former international cricketer there, who's got the runs on the board and played all over the world. And then for those of you that were lucky enough to play in that game a few weeks ago, where Mandurah put on a really, really good show and showed why they're probably one of the favourites for the tournament at the moment, for the Retrovision Premier T20 League Cup. He was outstanding, coming off an outstanding weekend of cricket. And you can say, well, hey, we played against a Big Bash player. So the PCA kicking more and more goals and really sort of making a mark and putting putting our flag in the ground and sort of saying, hey, we're here and we're all about providing fantastic cricket opportunities for everyone in the Peel region. What else have we got to talk? Well, Country Week. Country Week coming up, isn't it? It's coming up very, very fast. 16th is the first game, so that week the 16th to the 21st. Now, as defending champions, obviously Peel are going to have a big target on our back. It's probably nothing new there. So good luck to everyone that's involved there, and we'll have a bit more of a chat about that in next week's show, because that'll be the one leading up to Country Week, and there'll obviously be a little break in the schedule as well. Although there won't be a break in the podcast, there'll just be a break in play, won't there? But good luck to everyone that's involved there. Again, Peel's got some really great representation across the grades, and it'll be fantastic to think that you can defend the well-earned title last year and go back. I'm not sure if the final's at the WACA. I'll just have a quick look on Trusty My Cricket. It'd be fantastic if it was. It is. Yep, it's scheduled. So the final, again at the WACA ground. Look, for those that got the opportunity last year, what a magnificent opportunity that must have been to run out on the Hello Turf. I was fortunate enough to work there for nearly 10 years, and I loved every minute of being able to walk across the ground and doing what we did on the ground. So to play on it would have been something else as well. I never got that opportunity, but hey, you never know. Anyway, so good luck to that. But we'll chat more about that next week. We'll have a bit of a Country Week theme in the show next week. So hold your horses there. What else have we got? Yeah, we'll have a bit of a preview. We'll have a little bit of a review on the season so far. So a little bit of a mid-season sort of wrap up. And that might be about that for this week. So hold on to your horses, don't go away anywhere, and we'll be back right after this short break. Welcome back, Championes. We are back here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which, as usual, is proudly supported by our fantastic partners in Retrovision, Everlast Sports Drinks, which I hope we've got plenty of in our fridges now that it's hot. The hot weather's come. We need a Country Week. Boy, oh boy, these are going to help you through. If you're not stocking up on these and getting cartons of this stuff and chucking it in the car ready for Country Week, you're mad. Okay, so fill up. You know where to go. It's John Sanders. You go to ESA Sport, okay, which is there. Look, phone number up there. Email address there. Can't go wrong. Stock up on this stuff. You're mad not to, okay? Not only for profits for clubs, but also the fact that it's a fantastic product. And now that the hot weather's here and we're going to be playing, you're going to be sweating, you're going to be getting tired, dehydration, all that sort of stuff, top up on this stuff. Dehydration is real. It makes a massive difference. And don't be silly about it. This is the stuff to get in. So Everlast, and like I said, I always go, that's the flavour for me. So, top up on your Everlast. So fantastic supporters of us. It's up to us to help support them. Okay, so where are we? Mid-season. So mid-season report. I'm sounding like a school teacher. That's a bit sad, isn't it? But we've sort of hit the traditional festive season break in the cricket season, and it's a tough one, isn't it, in cricket? Because I think if you had some momentum building into that period, you lose it. And it's hard to keep going. Or the other way around is and it happens more in junior cricket, probably more than senior cricket, because as you're well aware, if they're not playing carnivals, they're not playing any cricket at all. Which is look, that's a show. That's a whole show we could do, probably even 2 or 3. I just find it weird. We're a crazy sport that wants more and more people to play, but we do things like stop forever. Anyway, so like the A grade ladder, for instance, that really highlights how tight a competition we've got going on at the moment. Every single week we've had different leaders or different movement and significant movement, but the fact that we've got at the turning point we've got Waruna at the top of the table. They've just got a 3-point buffer, and we know that they could have had more, but anyway. And then the chasing pack has Hall's Head, who've really climbed through. Their batting strength and depth is outstanding, and could be the difference at the end of the season. You've got to have enough runs to be able to win the game. We play one-day cricket, so it's a team that scores the most runs that wins, and they are constantly making lots and lots of runs, more than anyone else throughout the competition and throughout all their grades. So, they're going to be tough, I think. And then you've got Singleton and South Mandurah, and they're all on the same points. So, and then not far off them, you've got Mandurah, who are just coming up slowly as well. They had a really good run and then dropped off a little bit. And then you've got Warnbro as well in the race. So you've got about 6 teams that are really, you could throw a blanket over, and all you've got to do is get into the finals, and then it's open slather from there, really. You've got home ground advantage and all that sort of stuff, but we don't have 60,000 people coming to watch. So I just think if you get into the finals, and then it's a completely different kettle of fish, really, and it basically means you get to the finals, and then it's up to whoever's there to win. So that's what we'll see. In regards to the personal statistics and the individual statistics, we've got Jack Manuel, who's having a really, really solid season for Hall's Head with 444 runs, going at 55.5, if you don't mind. And he's tightly followed by, we know who that's going to be. It's Warnbro's Dane Ugle. He's a star, isn't he? 439 runs, and he started slowly, and he's just starting to pick up. And he's going at an average of 73.17. So, they're doing all right. A couple of not outs helped that one, no doubt. But they're the 2 leading run scorers in the competition. And bowling-wise, we've got White Knight skipper Steph Botha with 26 wickets. And he's going at 9.77. That's really, really good going. And he's followed by Singleton and Winian's wily spinner now. He's getting on. No, he's not. He's still a young pup, isn't he, really? Tim Hutchison, who's taken 24 wickets, bowling his little offies. And he's going at 6.75. And that's as a spinner. That is amazing. They're amazing figures. So some really, really good stuff happening there. In B grade, with the race for the Macintosh Cup, it looks like it's a 5 sort of team race there, although we've got 2 teams that are sort of leading the way, but there's 3 that are right behind them, really sort of chasing hard. So Hillman and North Baldivis are only separated by 2 points at the moment at the halfway stage, but we've got White Knights, Baldivis, Shoalwater Bay and Hall's Head all very, very close behind in the chasing pack. So they're the 5 that are probably going to be in the running for the finals, and who knows. So you've only got to be around sport long enough to know that, in-season form is big, but in Australia we play finals, and finals is a completely different kettle of fish, and that basically means that it's still anyone's to win. You could be top of the table all the way through and get there and get knocked out. And then so it's nearly like, well, what was the point? But look, that's the Australian system. We've grown up with that, and that's just what we've got to stick by. In regards to individual performances, Shoalwater Bay's Paul Gravett is leading run scorer with 407 runs, and he's going at 101.75, 101.75 if you don't mind for that average. Let's see if we can do a bit of a Mike Hussey or a Labuschagne or a Steve Smith and maintain that big, or Adam Voges actually even as well. Warnbro's own Adam Voges. I should try to get him on the show, shouldn't I? Yeah. Let me see what I can do. Anyway, 101.75, fantastic there. And he's being chased very, very closely and catching up very quickly. Former international, mentioned him earlier, Luke Pommersbach. He's on 403 runs, and he's going at 80.6. So nothing to be sneezed at there. With the ball, it's a very, very tight contest there. We've got North Baldivis star Rocky Sharma. He's leading the group with 19 wickets. and he's getting chased very, very tightly or very closely by White Knights' Matthew Jordan. He's got 18. And then we see Shane Bliss from Shoalwater, Rowett Nair from Hillman, and Mitchell Cowan from Warnbro. They've all taken 17. So it's a real tight pack there in regards to the bowlers in B grade there. Leading run scorer across the whole competition is Chris Spencer. We mentioned him a couple of times throughout the podcast series. He's got 565 runs, an average of 62.78, and that's in E grade. Although he has played one or two games a bit higher, and he's obviously played a game in the Retrovision Premier T20 League too. But essentially, he's made most of those runs in E grade. 565 at 62.78, if you don't mind. That's a fantastic halfway point of the season. Can he get the magical four figures? Can he get to 1,000? I've got to do my homework and see whether that's been done before or when the last time it was done. I presume it's been done. But if he can get to they're phenomenal numbers in club cricket. I mean, 500 runs as a club season in community cricket is pretty good. We can't sit here and judge ourselves on centuries and all that sort of stuff. Community cricket's too hard. There's too many variables that come into it. So centuries are amazing, but they aren't the be all and end all. And big totals like this are rare, I think, anyway. And the leading bowler across all grades is actually, we've mentioned him already, White Knights Baldivis star Steph Botha, who's got 26 wickets. He's a leading wicket taker throughout the whole competition, so well done there. So just to round up there, so not forgetting the other grades, the ladder show White Knights Baldivis 2 points ahead of South Mandurah in C grade at the halfway point. We have Halls Head, they're clear leaders in D grade. They're running away with it, but like I said, their aim, I guess, is to stay there and then maintain the form into the final. So I don't think they're not going to make final. So they've got to now maintain that form and be strong enough at the end to pick up the silverware. And we all know that's why we play. We play sport because we want to win. We want to participate. We want to be there with our mates and all that sort of stuff. And that's true. But, it's much better when you win. Winning beats losing hands down. Now, if there's anyone here that says they don't care, I go hey, because look, at the end of the day, you don't play and I'm sure Monopoly and Uno and all those sort of card games and board games would have come out during the festive period when the family's around. And look, there's not much on TV, is there? Once you've had your fill and you're a bit stuffed, and that afternoon sort of snooze comes around or whatever, you normally pull out the Uno or Monopoly board or something like that anyway. And you don't play to participate, you're playing to win. You're not there to make up the numbers. And I've seen plenty of Monopoly boards get tossed about everywhere and all that sort of stuff because someone hasn't won. And anyway, so ladders, back to the ladders. So we've got Halls Head, they're clear in D, Mandurah leading the way in E grade, and we see Warnbro top of the tree in F grade there. So well, if you're going to give a mid-season report card, and let's keep going with this teacher sort of theme because I've started it now, may as well finish it. It's a strong cohort, isn't it, really? I mean, if I was going to be a teacher, there'd be a lot of positive sort of spoken throughout in the report, saying a lot of really great, fantastic performances here across the board. There's a lot of consistency there. We've got some great cricket being played throughout and in some testing and trying conditions, no doubt. And we're going to see more and more of that moving forward. I know some of the turf pitches we've played on. I know some of them have been a little bit challenging, but that's why you play on turf. So I'm for one that I like it. I like a bit of a contest. I like when there's a little bit in the pitch, and I like when, hey, it might be tough because I just think for too long we've got the balance wrong, and wickets don't have to be batting friendly. You don't want them to be so far the other way that they're bowling friendly and you can't make a run. But I just like the fact that it's a contest, and if there's something in it for both, I think everyone's a winner. When you just turn up and it's just a flat road and there's nothing you can do, I just think the game gets a bit boring. We want a contest. We want bowlers to feel like that they're going to get something out of their 10 overs and their time on the day and their fees and all that sort of stuff. At the end of the day, everyone pays their way. You're paying your subs. you want to perform. You want to be able to play and enjoy yourself on a Saturday. So I personally, I don't think any of the wickets have been that bad. I think some have been fantastic, obviously. I've been very fortunate to see them most Tuesdays at Peelwood. They are absolute belters, but they're good for everyone. There's pace and bounce. There's grass on the wicket. There's movement. We've seen that in the performances. Batters making runs, but bowlers doing well too. So, look, if you're gonna, if I'm gonna mark, and I can because this is my show, hey. I think it's been fantastic. I think there's been a lot of really good stuff happening on the ground. Off the ground, I know a lot of people are doing a lot of work to provide the best competition they can. And look, no one's perfect. People are going to maybe do things that people don't agree with, etc. What I always say to everyone is, look, it's easy to sit there and from the cheap seats and pick out what's going wrong. Come up with a solution. So if you've got an issue with something, that's fine, because this is your competition. I think it's even more important that you approach the officials or whatever with a solution, saying, hey, have you thought about this? Because that's a far better process than sitting there and just taking pot shots from the cheap seats. Add a couple of tiny little things, but let's just make sure we don't go too far with it. Social media, look, there is a social media policy. You should all know social media is not new. Just be careful where you go with your comments and all that sort of stuff. You can have an opinion, that's fine. I know I don't have an, and if anyone wants to have a pot shot at me, that's fine. But I reckon there's just no point to it. So if you got an issue or there's something that's not really working for you, well, come up with a solution, because everyone's a volunteer. Everyone's doing the best that they can. And sometimes you just don't see the obvious solution or answer in front of you. You just need someone to jog you or tap you on the shoulder and say, have you thought about that? And you go, oh, yeah, of course. Because I think there's enough intellect throughout the competition to be able to come up with some really good stuff. Anyway, so let's finish on a high here. I reckon we're tracking for a B plus, touching A. I'm a hard marker. I'm a hard taskmaster. I'm always thinking there's always better. We can always improve. So let's go B plus. Okay, we're all at a B plus, and we're all aiming to get that A. So there's a few little things we can all do to get that little bit better. So just looking forward to. I'm not going to go through every single competition, every single grade, because we'll be here forever. And I'm keen on making the highlight of this show the upcoming interview with Clint Dan. But so just looking forward to this particular weekend's round 12. We're up to round 12 already. And this is episode 12 of the Pavilion. So we've got Waruna versus Pinjarra, a bit of a local derby there, or derby. And that's at Waruna. So that'll be a really, really good game. Pinjarra finished on a high. So they're the ones that finished on a high, and they could continue on. But we're in the top of the table. All the pressure's on them. Everyone's going to be chasing them. We'll see how they go. We've got Horsehead versus White Knights at Peelwood. That'll be an interesting game there. We've got the top run scorer versus the top bowler. So there could be a good contest going on there. Match of the round for me, I think it's this one here. We've got Singleton Irwinians versus Mandurah, and that's going to be at Stan Twite. Singleton with their full team, full list back together. Starting to get their wins back, and they're one of the teams to beat, no doubt. But Mandurah are probably looking for a really good performance to start the second half. They had a really good early bit and then sort of tapered off a little bit. So they hit hard with availabilities and workforce, I guess, FIFO workers and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see how that goes there. We have Warnbro versus Secret Harbour out at Warnbro. And we have South Mandurah versus Shoalwater, and that's at Falcon Reserve. So that's what A grade's going to look like. Like I said, for me, match of the round will be Singleton Irwinians versus Mandurah. But hey, they're all going to be crackers, aren't they? Because we know we've got some fantastic cricketers running around, and we know that someone somewhere is going to make 100 or take 5 wickets or make a significant contribution to a fantastic game. And that's not only A grade, but across the board. So good luck to everyone as they run out on for their first game of 2022, which is an exciting opportunity, no doubt. That was our first little segment there. This is the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. And as always, proudly supported by our friends at Retrovision. Remember, get into Retrovision for any of your electrical or white goods. You'd be mad not to go there. You know they have a 60-day price guarantee. They know their stuff. That's the place to go. There's plenty of them around the state, including in our local area. So get to Retrovision there. Everlast sports drinks. They should be everywhere in your fridges. You'd be crazy if you haven't. If you don't know where to go by now, where to get them, you're mad. The phone number's there, or contact Johnny Sanders at ESA Sport, who are the distributors of Everlast sports drinks in the state. But there's also a whole heap of other stuff. Have you thought about, actually, with ESA Sport, have you thought about your end of season awards night, or your end of season dinner, or however you guys do it? I'm sure every club's got their way of doing it. Guest speaker. Johnny will be able to sort you out. He's got a catalogue of players that he's got access to, sporting contacts. So if you're looking for someone to maybe be a guest speaker and really make a night of it, why not get in contact with ESA Sport and John Sanders in particular, because he might be able to help you out and come up with a great idea there for a celebrity, I guess, to come along and basically, headline your end of season awards. Okay, we'll be back after this. Okay, welcome back everyone to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is, as usual, proudly sponsored by Retrovision, ESA Sport and Everlast Sports Drinks. This week, very privileged to have a great guest on the show, and it's Clint Dan. Now, Clint's running a great initiative called the Middle Stump Initiative, and some of you may have seen some of the fantastic artwork on some of the middle stumps floating around, not only the Peel Cricket Association, but statewide. So welcome to the show, Clint.
Hi, Roger. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on board. Look, I'm other than seeing the actual artwork myself and seeing the magnificently coloured middle stumps floating around, not only Peel but all around the state. I didn't know much about what the Middle Stump Initiative was all about, and I guess I'm probably not the only one. So, could we get a brief snapshot of what the Middle Stump Initiative is all about?
Yep. Okay. So, if it's okay, mate, I'd like to just take that back a bit. So in early 2017, as I touched on, I'm a Christian, and I was sitting on my mother-in-law's veranda after church one Sunday afternoon having a coffee in Coffs Harbour, New South Wales, and I've looked up to the sky and I said, Lord, what could I come up with that may entice Aboriginal children to give cricket a go? And all of a sudden, mate, this middle stump idea just came into my head. And, mate, it's just gone from there. I've got clubs in Canberra, Ngunnawal country, Melbourne, Wurundjeri country, Adelaide, Nunga Corner country, right here in Perth, obviously, Noongar Whadjuk country, up to Kalgoorlie, Wongai country, and also over in Wickham, which is up in the Pilbara, Naluma country. So, yeah, it's really taken off. I've also got schools on board as well. One of them being Trinity College, which is obviously next to the WACA.
Yep.
And yeah, mate, it's been really pleasing, the response.
That's fantastic. To have, I guess, the great word being spread around all over Australia, and it's only going to continue to grow. I would have thought, especially on the back of the success, I guess, of Scott Boland in the last Test match, and that's a story in itself. We'll probably need another 3 hours on that one. But what were your thoughts on that one?
Now that you mentioned Scott Boland, I've actually got a Middle Stump Initiative photo of Scotty Boland bowling. So he actually knows all about the Middle Stump Initiative. I just want to touch on June 2018, Cricket Australia. They just they said, look, Clint, we want to take this middle stump to England. They took a Aboriginal team over to England in June 2018, along with the Ashes, to replicate and to acknowledge the Johnny Muller, the 1868 tour that happened, which was obviously a full Aboriginal side that went over that time. And yeah, they did the middle stumps at all the county, the county fields over there, and mate, it was just an awesome opportunity to gain exposure for the middle stump, as it was still in the early stages back then. But yeah, some of the feedback that I received from from Cricket Australia and even some of my cricket mates in general was just amazing, and it was such a rewarding opportunity, to do that. And mate, as you know, I keep saying to people, I'm not going to stop until the middle stump is on every cricket pitch in Australia. And it's just an automatic thing. Every time, umpires take the 6 stumps out to the pitch,
Yep.
2 of them are of got a bit of history of that country.
Mm-hmm. Well, why not? That seems like a pretty simple idea to me, and there's no reason why we can't do that. And I guess your next battle or challenge, we'll call it a challenge, not a battle, a challenge, getting the manufacturers on board, I guess.
Well, can I just say, just on that, I've had since I started the Middle Stump Initiative, I've had 3 official meetings with Cricket Australia. Now, on each occasion, they've told me that we need to get the business partners on board. The business partners are on board. They really do like the idea of the middle stump.
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear, Ratio, that we will. I'm happy to have, like with the Marsh Cup, the Sheffield Shield competition, I'm happy to have the Marsh logo on the middle stump. With the Test match. The Vodafone, I think it is.
Yeah.
So we're happy to have those logos also on the middle stump. But hey, why not have a bit of history on those middle stumps as well? Detailing the history of that country. Imagine the Boxing Day Test match, mate, where at the MCG, Wurundjeri country, there's actually a bit of history on that middle stump with the Vodafone logo or whoever is, the major sponsor at that time. It'd just be amazing, mate.
Well, it'd be in addition to what's so we do the the welcome to country, and we have the elder that comes along and welcomes people there and all that sort of stuff, and then it's sort of like, okay, we've done that, now we move on. That would mean no, hang on, it's not just do that and move on. It's actually no, let's acknowledge where we are, where we're playing. We're playing on sacred ground, and it's there all the time, and it's just a reminder, I guess, because if you don't see it, it doesn't exist.
Well, that's the thing, and this is what I say to people. Look, it's all, the Barefoot Circle and, these other initiatives now that Cricket Australia are bringing in, reconciliation round in community cricket. And this is the thing I say to my clubs, and we're growing and expanding all the time. I say to them, look, it's this country is not going anywhere. Why can't you bang in that middle stump every Saturday?
Yeah.
Why does it have to just be on reconciliation round? Like, Let's do this every Saturday to celebrate the history of our country, which is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That's where I want to go with this, and when that happens, mate, and in time, I want to take the middle stump to world cricket. Imagine other countries telling their stories on their middle stumps.
Oh, exactly. I mean, and you think of the if you think of like the Asian nations, I mean, they're indigenous cultures that are playing cricket. I mean, because again, if you look, say, India, for instance, they've got all these different tribes, I guess, of people that come together and play cricket for India and all that. But they come from all different parts as well. Like to sort of say, hey, this is a world game. It's played all over the world.
So yeah, no, that's exactly right, and. I strongly believe in this middle stump initiative, Horatio.
Yep.
Yes, there has been ups and downs. It hasn't all been smooth sailing since I started the initiative. But that's what learning's all about. And I've had my fair share of, not so good news that's come along in this journey. But that just gives me more motivation to move forward and to go forward with this message of reconciliation, to bring us together. Like, it's not going to change how we play our cricket. We all love our cricket.
Yeah.
Having a bit of acknowledgement on that middle stump, detailing the history of that country and that cricket pitch, hey, that can just be a good thing. It can't be a bad thing. And it's not going to affect, who nicks the ball behind to the keeper, or, it's not going to affect how we play our cricket whatsoever.
No. It's a easier target to see. I reckon you can see it a bit better.
Well, that's what a lot of my cricket mates say. They say, well, Clint, you actually, just a bit of banter. They say, well, Clint, I'm not the best of batsmen. You're giving the bowler more advantage now. You can see my middle stumps better.
Just think of the colour. When it's cartwheeling, all the colours that are around. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. But they also say, mate, it's also a powerful statement. Like when the two batsmen are walking out to the pitch, and you can see the middle stumps from the boundary.
Yeah.
And the powerful statement as you get closer to the cricket pitch is just, gee, it's like without doing the formalities of a welcome to country before maybe the first game of the season, just looking at the middle stump, it's an acknowledgement to country in itself.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
No, 100%. 100%.
So, and also the have you heard of the Governors versus Pirates match, a charity match that they do up at Parliament House?
Oh.
It's in aid of childhood brain cancer research.
Okay.
They do it in March up at Parliament House. Anyway, last year they got in contact with me and. They wanted to do the middle stump. I was over in New South Wales at the time in Coffs Harbour, but mate, I jumped at the idea, the opportunity, I should say.
Yep.
And yeah, they did the middle stump last year. They're going to do it again this year in March. So things like this is really rewarding. And also this Sunday coming, if I can say quickly,
you can.
The Barmy Army versus the.
Yep.
They're doing the middle stump there, and they've got me playing now. So
oh dear me,
it's really exciting. So I can do a Noongar welcome to country.
Yep.
I'll touch quickly on the middle stump initiative and what's it all about, and hopefully I'll make a couple of runs to go with that.
So you still playing yourself, Clint, or you too busy?
Yeah, I still have a hit for the Bassenine Cricket Club. In the West Australian Suburban Turfs competition. So, yeah, that's all going well. The guys there, they're a great bunch of blokes, and, they love their cricket.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good setup there. They're very supportive. They also, do the middle stump initiative. I would play for them even if they didn't. But I'm just saying, they're just such a great bunch of guys there at the Bassenine Cricket Club. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Now, with how does this tie into Peel cricket then? So basically, most of the clubs, if not all, have bought into the initiative, I guess.
What most of the clubs have. There's a few clubs that are still, I guess, because I gave them that option. See, if you want a more personalised story on that middle stump pertaining to your little area, your cluster, then I can get that done through my apps, but it will take more time.
Yeah.
So there are about, I think, 2 or 3 of your clubs in the Peel Cricket Association. So basically all the clubs are on board, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's 3 clubs
that want to do
want a more detailed story about their little area or cluster.
Yeah.
So I'm getting that done through my artist, Roderick Collard, who happens to be my first cousin, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
So it's all worked out really well. So there's 3 clubs that we're still waiting on, some more artwork detailing, I guess, a bit of history of their little areas.
Yeah.
But having said that, Terry Arnold has been very supportive. And they're also going to use the stumps at this year's Country Week, which I think starts in Perth next week. So
Junior Country Week starts next week, and then Senior Country Week's a couple of weeks after that. Yeah.
So Terry Arnold said to me, because I should have all the stumps ready and delivered to Terry by late next week sometime.
Okay. Well, they'll be ready for Senior Country Week, which will be fantastic.
Yeah, which will be good. Also, the Eastern Goldfields Cricket Association, they've been in Kalgoorlie. They're bringing their stumps as well. So.
Yep. And what about Port Hedland? The boys from Port Hedland? No, you said something about Port Hedland.
Not as yet. I'm trying to get I guess the Country Week committee as a whole to implement the middle stump initiative, but. With the Eastern Goldfields and now you guys, the Peel Cricket Association, taking their stumps to Country Week, it's only going to create more opportunity, next year and years years to come.
Well, it's still one of the biggest cricket competitions going around, as you're probably well aware. Country Week still very well supported, and all the country cricket associations are, they look forward to it. It's a highlight of their year, and there's no doubt that the connection to country would be fantastic to see across all the metropolitan clubs that are hosting all of the Country Week games. It'd be awesome.
Right.
The colour would be fantastic.
And can I just also, while I've got this opportunity there, can I also say, and this is what I say to my clubs as well, it's not about, this is all about the principle. The financial side of things. If clubs are struggling financially, then we can put in place a long-term payment commitment based on the stumps that we, produce for them. So it's not about the money side of things. It's more so about the principle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're about, because we just want to see, us all coming together and enjoying and respecting the history of our nation.
Yeah.
This is the message I'm trying to get out there as well. And if clubs have got, sponsors, with their logos also on the middle stumps, and hey, we compromise and we can put their logos on their middle stumps as well. As I touched on earlier, Orazio, it's about just giving a little bit of history and a bit of a history lesson, detailing the history of that little area on those middle stumps as well. So, mate, there's all these, I guess, maybe obstacles that may be presented initially, but we can work through them, and there's not one cricket pitch in Australia where we can't, satisfy and get the right outcome for these cricket clubs.
Yeah, I think it'd be fantastic to see it. Yeah, I mean, if that's the aim, well, let's all be part of that, and let's just see that every cricket club, every game of cricket that's played has one of these fantastic middle stumps part of it, and let's hope that we see more and more Indigenous players playing this great game. That'd be fantastic to see. I know it's a lovely story and all that sort of stuff, but to only have 2 Test players is rubbish. Like we should have more. And it was a great story. The Scott Boland story was. You couldn't have written it any better. There's a Hollywood movie there. There'll be one in Bollywood, no doubt. But you just think, why haven't we got more? Because you personally know some extremely talented players, not only here in WA but across the country. And if this is the start, I tell you what, mate, I'm excited by it. So I'd love to see it.
Look, Dave, as I touched on earlier with the National Aboriginal Cricket Championships in Alice Springs, that being the Imparja Cup, look, there's been progress, and I've been to the championships, 5 or 6 times. And, mate, some of the talent up there in Alice Springs from all over Australia is just amazing. Like, you think to yourself, like, I myself come from a WACA A-grade cricket background, and to go to Alice Springs and to see some of the talent, it's just like, and you go and have a yarn with these young fellas, and they say, oh, no, we're just playing country cricket, or we're just playing for our local club, and it's just, there's a lot of Aboriginal talent there, mate, that could be playing at Premier Cricket Club.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just, I just don't understand, I can't really understand as to why these guys aren't either, one, being encouraged to go to a Premier Club in their cities, or they haven't got the right networks around them, or, I just don't know.
Probably a combination of all of that, isn't it, I guess? It's probably a bit of everything. It could be. There's dynamics involved, obviously, but,
if cricket, I guess recruitment agents and Cricket Australia representatives and officials in general, even state representatives, went and had a look. I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying if there was more presence there at the national championships, mate, it'd be more with regard to the Imparja Cup alone. There'd be that many more Aboriginal cricketers playing Sheffield Shield cricket right now. Yeah.
No, well, there has to. I mean, we can look locally, can't we? I mean, your very, very good friend in Kieran Ugle and Dane. I mean, we all know about Dane's exploits.
Well, just on Dane, they're both brilliant cricketers.
Yeah.
Dane won the WACA A-grade, Ollie Cooley medal a couple of years ago. That's just I know myself. I've played A-grade Wacker cricket. That is very hard to achieve.
It is.
And Dane Newell did it.
Yeah.
Now, he should have got, in my opinion, Dane should have got a game for Western Australia. Like, why didn't he get at least one opportunity? That is a big award. That's one level down from playing for WA. He would have been facing the state bowlers every second week.
Yeah, a training because he was in squads and all that sort of stuff. So, his runs alone tell you. I mean, look, he made runs everywhere. Wherever he goes, he makes runs.
I know Dane well, and he's a very good batsman.
Oh, extremely good batsman.
I don't understand why he did not get one opportunity. And you probably have heard of John Maguire.
Yep.
You know, he made over 10,000 A-grade Wacker runs for the Mount Lily Cricket Club. He never got one game for Western Australia. Look, I don't have any answers, mate. I don't know. But what I do know is that we are starting to see more players come in. You've got Darcy Short, who's obviously doing quite well, WA-wise, I guess. And I know some of the girls that I've done some work with that have gone on to play some... they've been part. Actually, they were part of a India tour. Do you remember that one a few years ago? There was they went out to India. There was oh yes.
There were a couple of WA players.
I think they picked that squad from the Imparja Cup.
Yeah. So
I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there were a few girls that I was still working at the Wacker at the time, and I did a bit of work with them to prepare them for that tour because it was in our winter, obviously. So. But they went off.
Well, Ragio, just on all this, like, if I can just say,
look how brilliant our look at our AFL players and our NRL players, Latrell Mitchell and Cyril Rioli. I mean, Eddie Betts,
superstars.
Imagine that transferred into the cricket arena.
Oh, mate, I'd love it.
That'd just be so exciting.
I'd love it. Absolutely love it.
And it's and I believe that through this Middle Stump initiative, again, it is not an Aboriginal cricket thing. This is mainstream. This is for everyone.
Yep.
To come and embrace our history as Australians and come together.
Yep.
And through this acknowledgement, through those Middle Stumps.
Well, I think it's a fantastic initiative. You obviously heard of Dane's little fella getting 100 a few weeks ago. Like he's only 11 or something like that. So you never know. He could be the one. I mean, Christ, making hundreds at that age, just ridiculous. So,
it's amazing. It's brilliant. Well, he's
good genetics, though.
He's still a brilliant player, so I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. He's, his father's a very, very good batsman. Yep. And his Uncle Kieran's very good as well.
Yes, well, they...
And also, just on Kieran, as you probably know, he played AFL for the Freo Dockets.
Yep.
And I think he played over 200 league games for South Shemalin as well. He's a life member at the South Shemalin Bulldogs as well. So, it's a very talented family, that Eagle family down there.
They are. Very, very, very talented. Now, look, just a little one on the local... So, Rod Collard, you obviously said is your cousin. How do you we can use him as an example? How do you bring them in along for the journey? So you sort of source local artists, I guess. You've got a network, or
yeah. Well, what I've done now, going to my 5th year of doing the Middle Stump Initiative, I've got a list of artists that I sort of go to. All the time to help me, especially if there's time frames, But I also, just on that, I try and give other artists an opportunity as well, to give them exposure and to give them, acknowledgement within the community as well. And this is what I say to my clubs as well, you can ring Rod up and get some artwork off him in your personal space. He's happy to oblige. Yep. And it's not just about the middle stumps in cricket. If you want to do that, then go ahead. So
I try and promote my artists in that way as well, by giving them other opportunities and I guess marketing and commercial interest. As we proceed as well. But I've got artists now all over Australia. I stay in good with them. I build up rapport. I build up respect. And when a club from their area rings me up and says, Clint, or he sends me an email or communicates in other ways. You know, I identify that country, that artist, and I ring them up. Say, hey, how you going? What's been happening? I've got a club there. Are you happy to help me out again? So it goes like that. It's really good.
Oh, I think
it's really good.
Yeah, I think it's amazing because, again, just looking at some of the examples online that I've seen and some of the pictures you've sent through, I mean, there's some serious artwork there, and they're obviously seriously talented people. So we should know more about them. So I think that's fantastic, and I also think, especially for younger people, to know a little bit more about actually where you are, because you know the way, I mean, that map of Australia that you see that's broken up with all all the countries within it. It's
over 500 different. There's over 500 different countries in Australia. So therefore, that equates to tribes.
Yeah.
And the history pertaining therein is just amazing. Like, there's so many different stories pertaining to each little area of Australia.
Exactly.
You know, and you know, and this is what I say. Like, just quickly, if I can say, back when the Trinity College had their, first game of the year, the teacher there, he asked me to come and do a welcome and a little talk about the Middle Stump Initiative before they played their first match against Guildford Grammar.
Yep.
At Trinity College there, and I said to all the boys, they all lined up, both the Guildford Grammar boys and the Trinity College boys, and I said to them all, I held the stump up. This was the Perth Swan River stump. My artist, Julianne Wade, she's just awesome as well. Julianne, I'd just like to give her a little plug. But anyway, I held up the Perth Swan River stump as I was talking to the boys, and I said, guys, do any of you know what the Perth Swan River is in Noongar? And they're all looking at me, all the boys, even the teachers, and they all said, oh, nah, Clint. And I said, well, the Perth Swan River in Noongar is Derbil Yerrigan. So, you know something about, and as you probably know, the Perth Swan River is right there where that ground is.
Yeah, it's right there.
So I looked over at the river and I said, you know what? Next time you look at that river, you now know that in Noongar it's called Derbil Yerrigan. Oh, thank you, Clint. Thank you for that. That is awesome. So, you know, it's really about also, you know, educating all of us. You know, I don't know everything myself, you know, and I'm educating myself as well, Orazio, as I go along with this Middle Stump Initiative, because there's amazing stories connected to each country, you know, that'll just blow your mind away.
Yeah,
you know, and
no doubt.
It's just awesome.
No doubt. And I guess it's important to acknowledge as well that not all of it's nice and fluffy either. I mean, it's you know, you've been living under a rock if you don't know a little bit about obviously where we are here in Peel, and there's obviously it's not a pretty history, but it's history we should know. We need to know, and we should know.
Yeah, well, I now that you mention that, I did have a chat with one of the presidents of one of the clubs down there about what you're saying here, and you know, my response to that was, look, this is all about positivity.
Yeah.
We know there is also a dark, I guess, past, and there are certain areas of our history, that being all of us, that you know, is not good. But you know, what I'm trying to do is create positivity. And again, reconciliation, and I so believe that through this Middle Stump Initiative, that it's going to bring us more so together than segregate and, you know, have us, I guess, stereotypes and perceptions and all this stuff. Like, I really believe, Horacio, that this Middle Stump, it's more than just about cricket, mate. It's about bringing us all together and celebrating as one country.
And I think that's more important than ever before right now with all the challenges we're all facing. I know we've been shielded over here, I guess, in WA, but still the world is going through the biggest bit of change that we've seen in our lifetime. I know as a, you know, we're not all that old, so we haven't had to deal with war and all that sort of stuff. I know some of our older people have, but for us, this is the biggest, most significant change and difficulties we're facing as humans, I guess. So you either take it on board and go, how can we learn and get better from this, or you sit in a corner and cry. I mean, I don't know, but it's stuff like this, Clint, that I think you've grabbed it and you've said, no, we can make a change, and I think this is awesome. So thank you for doing this, Clint, because I think it's amazing. Now, one last thing before I let you go, because I've already lied to you and I said it'd only be 20 minutes. The upcoming reconciliation round, which throughout community cricket, which is early Feb, I believe. Where there's the Barefoot Circle and all that sort of stuff, and obviously this sort of fits in well. But I guess the message is, let's not make it just one day. You want
Well,
acknowledgement to be all year round.
As I touched on earlier, Arcio, why can't we do the middle stump every Saturday?
Yeah.
Like, country's going nowhere, and this is for all of us. Like, the middle stump initiative is not an Aboriginal cricket initiative. It's a mainstream cricket initiative,
Yep.
and it's for all of us to embrace and celebrate our history together. And I've said this earlier, but I still need to get that message across, because this is what I'm trying to achieve, mate. I'm trying to get everyone to come together and say, look, this middle stump that Clint Dan's doing, it's not an Aboriginal thing. This is for all of us to
Yep.
celebrate our amazing history as Australians together.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we bang in that middle stump every Saturday?
Yep.
It's not going to hurt anyone if we was to do this.
Not at all. Not at
You
all.
know, and just before you go, mate, again, I want to thank you for this opportunity to come on your amazing podcast.
Thank you.
I'd like to, send my regards to the Peel Cricket Association Committee and obviously Terry Arnold. And I would love to, I just want to thank them for the opportunity that they've presented me. And let's hope that through this opportunity that other cricket associations see, hey, what the Peel Cricket Association are now doing, and they want to taste of it and get in contact and proceed with the middle stump hopefully next year and beyond.
I'd be surprised if you won't run off your feet, mate. I'd be surprised if you won't run off your feet here. So I think you will.
Well, see, thank you, mate. And again, I'm not going to give up until this is on every cricket pitch, and also including Test cricket, the Shield cricket. Imagine it in the KFC Big Bash, mate.
Oh,
It's just gonna be amazing, and I believe wholeheartedly, Horatio, that it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to keep following the processes, and we're going to get there, mate.
Yep.
So once again, thank you, Terry Arnold and the Peel Cricket Association. Cricket clubs, you've been amazing, and your support is noted, appreciated, and I'm very well respected. Thank you, guys.
You will see these stumps floating around everywhere throughout the PCA, and please keep in touch with the show and with us, with anything in regards to advertising. If you want to pump out some extra stuff, if you've got any new initiatives. I was just thinking as we're chatting there, mate, and you're probably already down that road. Back of the cricket bat. Yeah, good.
Yeah. I've actually. Can I just show you one of my bats quickly?
Oh, okay. Yep. Go for it.
Hold on. Now, if you can sort of see this,
Oh, hello. Wow.
this is one of my bats, and
Mate, that's huge, that
I
bat, just
touched
quietly.
on-
Is that David Warner's bat or
Yeah.
something? That is massive.
yeah, so this is one of my bats, and I just want to give my artist a plug on this. His name is Kevin Dermis. He's a Gumbanga man from Coffs Harbour, New South Wales.
Coffs Harbour, okay, yep.
And yeah, so that was the bat he did for me when I was over there playing cricket in Coffs Harbour.
That looks awesome. Is that painted on the bat, or is that
He did all the painting on this. So this is not a wrapped sticker.
Yeah.
That's actually the top. As you can see, my logo that's on top there. That's stickered, but the rest of the bat itself is all painted
Yep.
in dot painting. So
Wow.
yeah.
So have you approached like a Gray Nichols or a Gunnar Moore or a whatever? And
I haven't yet, but if I can just say there, mate, we're actually a company now, and we will, in time, we're going to set up other cricket franchise and opportunities like with merchandise, gloves and bats and just everything, cricket. So that's all coming.
Okay, well, keep
that's
up.
all coming. So watch this space.
Yep. Well, please send through any news, any info on that sort of stuff. We'll pump it out. I'm happy to be an ambassador, mate. I'll wear a shirt. Whatever.
Well, also, if I can just say quickly, we're trying to set up just the one game. As I said, I play for the Bassendean Cricket Club, but
Yep.
we're trying to set up the one game where when they first do the middle stump in the Peel Cricket, that I come down and play for the Warnborough Swans with Dane Kieran.
Oh, there we go.
So I've already run it past the Warnborough Swans and also Kerry Arnold, and they're both happy if we are to do that or if we can do that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that proceeds, and I come down there and have that one game with the Yugle boys and the Warnborough Swans.
Jeez, here we go.
When they first do the middle stump initiative, so
Yep.
that's exciting.
Well, there you go. And are you still getting some runs, Clint, or what? Are you going to add to that batting talent there, mate? Or
I've got a few. Like I made 84 not out in one game. I made a 58 in one game, and I think a 44. I've made a few so far.
oh dearie me. So there we go. So we're going to add to the batting talent at Warnborough. And Clint's going to come in and just go gangbusters. Good luck to whoever's playing Warnborough that day. Look, Clint, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I've learned a hell of a lot, and I hope everyone out there learns a lot more about this. And let's paint the town. Let's paint Peel Cricket blue, yellow, green, pink, orange, and every other colour that we use.
The more awareness and opportunity and education that goes out there through the Middle Stump Initiative, mate, the better for all of us and our community to come together and to celebrate and be one.
No doubt.
And to help each other. It's all about us coming together, helping and supporting each other and creating, better communities for everyone.
Yep, 100%. 100%. All for that. Okay, so look, Clint, thank you very much. So, Clint Dan, Middle Stump Initiative, look it up. Dr. Google will tell you where it is. If you need to get in contact with the great man, please do so. And let's see those middle stumps at all the clubs moving forward. Respect those stumps. Bowlers, don't hit them too hard. You just got to clip the bail off. Don't want to wreck them. And let's all get behind the initiative and let's bring everyone together throughout this great game. So, Clint, thank you very much, and good luck with it moving forward. And please stay in touch.
Will do, mate.
Might get you on later on in the season. Okay, thanks a lot.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Clint Dan, who is running the Middle Stump Initiative. We'll see them all over the place moving forward. So let's get behind it all, and let's be one as a nation. This is the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. I am Orazio Santalucia, and I am your host here every week. Although I wasn't here last week, but we all had a week off, didn't we? On the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly supported by Retrovision, Everlast Sports Drinks, and ESA Sport. And I'll also be looking forward to this coming Tuesday's game of the return of the Retrovision Premier T20 League competition. This promises to be an absolute rip snorter. I know I say that every week, but this one here on paper cannot get any better. Singleton versus Waroona. This is going to be a belter of a game. Now, Singleton haven't played yet. Their initial game, they were washed out. And Waroona easily accounted for North Baldivis and a real flexing of muscle there in that game. So Waroona versus Singleton. This is a replay of the Wiley Cup Grand Final last year, which Singleton ran out winners in the tightest of tight games there. Singleton are also the defending champions of the Retrovision Premier T20 League. Really, really looking forward to this one. I think this will be an absolute belter. So make sure you're tuning in this Tuesday or come down. It's going to be a warm one. We're going to have 33 degrees on Tuesday. This is going to be only the second game of all the games we've done. It's going to be quite warm and balmy. We're going to have that warm, balmy evening. The light will be fantastic. It'll be a great atmosphere. So let's get as many people down to Peelwood Reserve as we can on Tuesday night. I think it'll be fantastic to really get a bit of a crowd there. But at the same time, if you can't, and you've got your own club training, why not stick around after training, put up the big screen in your club rooms and tune in on our YouTube channel, the Peel Cricket channel. And you'll get live ball-by-ball coverage and commentary of the Retrovision Premier T20 League in the game Singleton and Winians versus Waroona. Really, really looking forward to it. And if I've played my cards right, there might be a special guest commentator. Okay, so you won't get stuck with me the whole time, although, hey, why wouldn't you? But, yeah, it could be a special guest commentator. So just watch this space, okay? We just had Clint Dan. Now, that was a fantastic interview. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I learned so much. I just think we can all play a role here. This is our nation. This is everyone's nation, and we should all be one together. And I think it's a fantastic initiative, the Middle Stump Initiative. It's using our great game to really push, I guess, reconciliation, but also just to say, hey, we're all in this together. And thirdly, to see more and more Indigenous players playing this game would be brilliant. I mean, we all saw the story. Boxing Day Test, Scott Boland. I mean, that's, if there's not a, I don't know if it's going to be a Hollywood, but I'd be willing to put money on the fact there'll be a Bollywood movie made of that story, because there's a story, there's a book already, isn't there? Just the whole story behind not only him getting picked, but then he found out not that long ago about his background, his family background, and the fact that he is Aboriginal, and he's embraced that and then run with it and been part of, you know, Aboriginal cricket throughout. He's played for Australia on a recent tour of England. That was well documented. But hey, we should have more players playing. So look, that's a conversation for another day, no doubt. But let's hope that this Middle Stump Initiative is a little step forward, and it's going to really make a difference moving forward. If anything, I think it's going to look fantastic. I mean, the artwork's sensational. On the notes for this podcast, as well as the vodcast, there'll be links to a few little things about the Middle Stump Initiative, including there's a little YouTube clip, which I'd encourage all of you to get on and listen to. So the links will be in our show notes at the end. So please, do take some time to write those notes. So please make sure that not only do you listen to this, but you just click into it and actually read the show notes. But thank you to Clint Dan for the work he's doing and for sparing some time today in the show, which I really, really enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing, especially if it comes true. He mentioned that he's trying to line up a potential guest spot playing for Warnbro to kick off the campaign, I guess. We've got reconciliation round coming up very, very soon, and it'll be great to support that in conjunction with the Middle Stump Initiative. But yeah, that little bit of batting talent coming into the Warnbro side. If they've got the Yugle boys and Clint Dan, who's played a lot of A-grade cricket, open the batting for. He played for the Prime Minister's 11 in 2001, and he opened the batting against New Zealand. So he's played a fair bit of cricket. He's got a bit of cricket pedigree behind him. So yeah, watch his space. That could be quite an exciting game. So whoever's got Warnbro that day, they might have their work cut out for him. So good luck. Look, good luck to everyone that's playing this weekend, and enjoy yourselves. Make sure we get out there, have the time of your life with your mates, because that's why we play this game. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it safe. Although we are over here in our little secure state, we've seen what's happening over east, where it's just all gone gangbusters with the dreaded COVID. I know there's a little bit of it running around the state. There's a little bit running around in our area. So, look, just make sure we stay safe. Do all the right things. Make sure you check in everywhere with the Safe WA app. Please, let's not be silly. Let's not be... it makes a difference. It takes 2 seconds. Just make sure you check in wherever you go. Go get vaccinated, and make sure that it's all linked up to your MyGov and all that sort of stuff, because I believe next week the Safe WA app's going to link up to your digital certificate. So it makes it a lot easier moving forward. We've all got to pull together to make this work. Rightly, wrongly, whatever. Look, just get vaccinated. You're mad if you're not. Anyway, that's my political piece. I'm Orazio Santalucia. You've been listening to The Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. We will be back next week. And remember, Retrovision Premier T20 League action back this Tuesday. Peelwood Reserve, 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday. I'll see you then. Bye for now.